guys, Strike here, welcome back to Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. Now, you may notice that we are no longer hanging around with everyone's favorite kidnapping criminal cunt. No, we have returned to Issa. Because after doing a little bit of research online last night, because I was trying to figure out all the races in this game, because I feel like after being well over 100 episodes in, I should probably know at least all the main fucking mortal races, right? And, yeah. By doing that, I basically stumbled across the fact that there is an embassy hall, which I straight up did not visit the last time we were here, so I feel like that would be... I already can't speak English. I'm still a little bit sick, but I'm getting better, I assure you. So, yeah, I thought now would be a pretty damn good time to go hang out with all the most important of all those different races. So we got Ambassador Mandolf, and I've been calling these guys the Alpha for the entire fucking playthrough. They are not the Alpha. The Alpha is elves in general. So that sort of covers the Dokkalfar and the, who I have now discovered are called the Yeah, I'm probably gonna stick with Alfar. It's fucking hard to say, but it's something like Ljosalfar or something like that. It basically means light elves and dark elves in the elven language, but they are sort of different enough kind of species for them to warrant being different. Ooh, Issa, there's gotta be such good stuff here. That's an Issa actual I can't speak! Honor blade, which we need for that one guy. I mean, I think that's an endlessly repeating quest, so I also couldn't really give less of a fuck. But whatever, who might you be? A random citizen who is not even Ljosalfar. What are you doing here, sir? Whatever, let's go ahead and talk to Mandolf, which is the least fucking elven name I think I've heard in my entire existence. But whatever, we'll deal with it.
Let me guess. You're here to buy a title.
Titles?
No? A bribe. Is that what you want?
I mean, absolutely,
Listen
but I don't
me.
know what for yet.
I'm no one's plaything. I apologize. Forgive me. Sometimes the work in this place is too much.
No, you were totally right. This is what I'm here for.
But it's just another nest of snakes.
How much for you to be my plaything? Ooh, titles, man. I'm excited for this. Wait, and then the game just decides to call her Alpha. Why does the game always mention Dokkalfar and Dark Elves, but never, ever, 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 ever mentions Ljosalfar? Maybe the Blue Boys, maybe the Smurfs are just way, way, way less important to the story or something? Because I don't think we've ever come across a place where they outright own. Obviously, the Dokkalfar have Rathir, and they've got the Mel Senshir, and basically anything that starts with Mel. But you guys, you don't seem to do shit. Unless maybe the elves are more closely intertwined than we think? We know the Alpha are constantly fighting against the Tuatha, and they seem to be doing it together, so hey, maybe you do live in Rathir. We still haven't visited there yet, so we don't know. Tell me about the embassy hall.
Do yourself this one favor and leave this place as quickly as you came. It's a den of deceit and malice. You don't want friends like these.
Unfortunately, as quickly as I came is about 67 hours worth of gameplay. So it looks like I'm gonna be here for a very long time. There's gonna be a very drawn-out come. Crystal War. Actually, it'll be a drawn-out leave. Damn, I can't do my silly goo jokes.
Something must be done. You know it as well as I do. The Fae must help. Who knows our enemy better?
I mean, they technically are our enemy. They're sort of... I guess the Light Fae and the Dark Fae, or the Summer and Winter Fae, are sort of the same sort of thing as the Elves. I mean, you've got the Fae that have grey skin, like the Elves that have grey skin, and the Fae that have blue skin, like the Elves that have blue skin. I'm sort of wondering if we are descendants of the Fae, or at least very, very similar origins. I don't know, man. There's gonna be so much lore still yet to be just jammed into my fucking eye sockets, and I can't wait to figure out what the fuck's going on. Tell me about yourself, Mandolf.
You think I want to be here? Stuck in this giant vegetable?
Who the fuck wouldn't
Never.
want to be?
My mother volunteered me for this position, and I had no choice. I have a young soldier back home who waits for me. But can I be with him before he sails? No. I have to administer to the Fae.
I've always wanted to be inside a vegetable. The edible plant life, not the cripple. But anyway, Alfar and Issa.
I don't believe the Fae see the Ljosalfar and Dokkalfar as separate groups. They tend to view the world in strict generalities, along bloodlines and origins. Sometimes
Oh, I'm
working
so
alongside
stupid.
The Dokkalfar is difficult, but we have
Alfar is literally in the fucking name.
Their goals and methods, and we adhere to ours.
It so blatantly means Dark Elf. How did I not see that? Oh, I am a fucking moron. I thought these guys were called the Alpha and that we were called the Dokkalfar. And I didn't see the fucking connection. I worry about myself. I worry about myself greatly. Let me take a look at these titles.
I understand. Well, I can offer you the traditional Alpha titles that are available at the embassy.
All you have to do is buy them. And I can buy them from other races. I can immediately just become your superior. Dark Hunter, Muse of Fate, and Master Mystic. So I get the feeling that you are the Elven Ambassador? Which means there isn't going to be a Dokkalfar version of you. Which is a shame, because I don't want to pick up... All of these kind of suck. I would have assumed the Dokkalfar would have had more dark and brooding ones. And while these sound pretty fucking cool, Dark Hunter, Muse of Fate, Master Mystic, they just sound very, very generic.
If you change your mind, please do come back.
So hey, maybe I'll take a fucking title from one of the other races instead. I just wish you could be like a Dokkalfar assistant, or maybe you were equals. If the Fae don't see us elves as different races... But they are immediately just so very... The Summer Fae is so very quick to jump on like, don't blame us for what the Winter Boys are doing, please. And then what the fuck? Why don't we get to do the same? We're not even close to similar. All the Dokkalfar I've met, other than me, because I'm amazing, have been like arsehole scummy criminals or dudes without names. When do I get to meet some cool fucking Dokkalfar? Oh, the ambassador can't even be bothered to take his place. He looks very, very upset. Amon's key. It seemed perfectly legal for me to take that. I've needed those for a very, very long time, so... I just don't really remember what for. Where do those keys go? I'll figure it out eventually. Let's go ahead and talk to Kulda. So you're an Almain, huh?
Hello.
And you're disgusting.
Kulda of the Almain. We may be new to the region, but we are just as involved in matters of the Fae and the war.
The Almain just look like every character from Fable ever. Like, they just have that horrible, weird-ass crooked nose. It's just like the 3D cartoonized version of British people, isn't it? And I am very proud to take up this gorgeous face. Embassy Hall.
Despite my position as lead ambassador to the Summer Court, I am an outsider. There is bad blood between some of the races. As a result, I try to steer my own course.
Huh. We're actually hearing about people hating each other for once. Instead of everyone getting along like some big, diverse, terrifying, 400 billion strong family. Bad blood.
I do not wish to speak ill of other diplomats, but Ambassadors Keen and Brenner of the Alfar and Varani are plotting against each other. As if we need more deception.
Wait, there are more ambassadors I don't know about? Who the fuck is Keen? Because the one we spoke to was neither of those, right? It was Mandolf. So maybe I will get myself a dark boy diplomat. Alright, hopefully we can stumble across those arseholes soon enough. Ambassador Kulda.
Like most of my kin, I have humble roots. My parents were both trappers on the Snaketail River, feeding much of Whitestone Village back before it fell on hard times.
I have no idea what any of that means. I've never been to that place in my life. Now, I think my, because as you guys know, I've got a new setup now. I've got myself a new desk. And my headset wire just slaps against it all the fucking time, making the most annoying sounds ever. So let me try and fix that for you. Which means I will literally just clip it onto another wire and probably break that wire. Is that going to be less annoying? Or 1,000 times more annoying? Only time will tell. So, Almain and Issa.
It is simply an honor to be here. We Almain are doing our part for the war effort. But there are plenty of other relationships to forge far from the battlefields.
Can I buy myself a lovely little title? Can I roll over all you human scum?
There are still powerful titles available for purchase.
The Warden of Light, the High King's Guide, and Chief Protector. They are all absolutely terrible, so I'm leaving forever.
And as you choose.
Come on. The Varani better have something. I mean, they're nomadic, so they've got to have, like, cooler names than, I don't know what to call you guys. I nearly said civilized, but the Varani are clearly a very, 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 very respectable, sort of like profitable kingdom, right? Like they're master merchants. Also master thieves, murderers, and rapists, but you know. I don't know what there is to know, actually. That's pretty fucking terrible. And it seems like only the Varani get to do those things. Ah, and I think we found that Varani boy right here. Oddvar. Obviously, he's meant to be the Viking boy. Who are you, though? That's also Ambassador Brenner. I don't know why the Varani needed two, but I guess they are by far the fucking angriest. Talk to me, I guess, buddy.
Aren't you bold?
Yes, because it looks like we're about to kiss immediately. Oh my god.
I'm Ambassador Oddvar, he who bloodies the waters.
You don't sound like much of an ambassador with a name like that. It seems like most of your negotiation tends to come at knife point. And, I like that in a man. So, tell me about the Varani and Issa. Also, you train me. What do you train in? It doesn't even fucking say. I can't ask you about... Oh, fuck this. Varani and Issa.
The High King knows why we are here, yet he does nothing. Our people die at the hands of the Tuatha, Fae. But the Fae themselves show no remorse.
Okay.
And the Summer Court will know our anger, and they will aid us or perish.
You know how I was literally just saying that, like, a lot of your like, most pirates, most thieves, a lot of bad fucking people end up being Varani. Are you entirely responsible for them as well? Do you need to be blamed? Do you need to be executed for the crimes of, like, someone you've never even met? No, sir. No, I don't believe you do. So shut the fuck up about the Fae. Felltown.
I have lived in less hospitable places. The Fae may not understand what it means to be mortal, but they certainly have an eye for beauty.
Then again, his name is He Who Bloodies the Waters! So maybe we better just execute him to be safe, right? Like, either he's the biggest fucking emo Viking of all time, or he's probably killed at least an entire orphanage. Maybe even both. I don't think you survive that without getting very, very emo. So, Embassy Hall.
I enjoy being this close to those I'm competing against. That's what this is, isn't it? A conflict in which we struggle to gain the ear of the Fae? As always, the Varani will triumph.
To be honest, I don't think the Fae give any more shits about any of it. I think they all just think you're kind of... I think they've just all put you here as some form of zoo. I think they just like staring at the funny little flesh babies, you know, because we don't seem to be gaining any ground. It's not like we seem to be pining for the... Well, we are absolutely pining for the assistance of the Fae, but they don't really give a shit. They're happy to just sort of watch us flail around. So, fine, you can sit here and try and negotiate, and I'll actually make a difference with my endless fucking fate powers. Yeah, it sound good? No, it doesn't. I need a friend, please. Can I just have a companion? Ambassador Oddvar.
I have served my people for 40 years, in war and in peace. Now I serve here, in the gardens. It is here where the important battles are fought. The Battle of Wills.
So assuming that, you know, you said you've been serving for 40 years, right? I imagine you didn't immediately just burst out of your mother's vagina, swinging an axe around, immediately ready to behead, right? I imagine you probably needed to grow just a little bit. So if we're assuming that Varani children can go out to war or go out joining their parents on, like, merchant/piratey voyages at, like, age... It won't be 18, because it's medieval times. No one cares about being an adult. So, let's say 15, 14? That would still make you 54. In what possible fucking realm of existence is this man 54? If I looked anything like you at that age, if I had this fuckboy haircut at age 54, I would be a very, very happy man. Holy shit. And I'm definitely buying a title from you.
Titles for use in the gardens of Issa. They are rare and should be worn with great respect.
Are they rare? Because I could quite easily buy like 2 million. Oh, well, no, 200,000 with the amount of money I have. I don't think it's anywhere near that much, but still. Blood Doge? What? I could be an adorable little murdery meme puppy. I almost can't resist the guardian of arms and death's cryptic hand. I almost can't avoid or can't resist being Blood Doge. That is too adorable. Oh, go on then.
A title worthy of one who's claimed many victories. Let us hope you are worthy.
No, I'm not worthy, I'm just rich.
Blood Doge.
It is pronounced like that too. What the fuck does Doge mean in like Old Norse or whatever the fuck? Alright, well Well, that has completely ruined any credibility I may have had as a badass. I've spoken to you, haven't I? Like, outside. Yeah, I thought I recognized you. For fuck's sake, man. This should not be tickling me nearly as much as it is, but I am thoroughly tickled. Templar Juriel. Oh, it's like a gnomish embassy here. Kind of strange that it never allowed you to play as a gnome in this game, since they are so very prominent,
I
but still.
apologize, but one of my station has many obligations to attend to. Please, excuse me.
No one refuses the blood doge. Okay, she refuses the blood doge, apparently. Why can't I have a pickpocket anymore? I was noticing this earlier as well. I jumped into the game early and I moved here and I tried to rob the everyone's favorite kidnapping criminal cunt before I came over here. And that was it. I couldn't rob him either. I don't know, pickpocketing has just stopped existing. No, because I can pickpocket you. Name seems just completely decide at random. But whatever. Icob. What a glorious name that is.
Welcome to the embassy, young one. I am Scholar Icob of the Domus Politica. What brings you to my chamber?
That is not the voice I ever expected from a lovely little gnome. Oh, and I could have got a gnomish title. And I can't until I surrender Blood Doge. Nothing's gonna be better than Blood Doge, right? Because it's much cool, very well. I want to die. I want to die so much after that. Yes, let's bring back memes from 15 years ago. That is what the people want, right? That dog's probably dead now. And on that note, let's talk to Arthur.
I find them endlessly fascinating in their ambition, in their magic, and in their disregard for the natural order. We could learn much from such creatures.
The natural order? They what? Oh, the Tuatha, you mean like they broke the cycle by going to war with the summer? But it seems like this was forever prophesied, so I think you're very, very wrong about that. But I guess the Gnomes aren't really ones who are believing in their prophecies and gods. I mean, they're the ones who caused me to shatter fate into tiny little fucking crumbs. So it clearly doesn't matter all that much to them. Scholar Icob, tell me about yourself, lady.
I've had a long career
Tiny
as an
little
ambassador
lady.
with the Domus Politica, and as a clerk in the Grand Bursars. But the real work will be done out here, in the wider world.
What do you mean? This is probably the most closed-off area I think I've ever seen. It would have been a much wider world back in, like, the gnomish city you came from, wouldn't it? Grand Bursar. I hope we actually get to visit, like, a gnomish civilization at some point in the game. I mean, it'd probably be a little bit problematic, because I don't think I'd fit through any single one of the doors, but we'd make it work. Blood Doge would just have to commando crawl literally everywhere. High King Titarian, I guess. I think she's the only one I've been able to ask about him.
A flighty creature. During
Rude.
my audience with the king, he forgot my name not once, but twice. It was insulting. But did he notice? Never.
Maybe try being more memorable. His name is literally Titarian. Could anyone ever forget something as fucking huge wang energy as Titarian? No, they could not. But Icob, I will instantly forget as soon as I step out of this fucking room. I hope you know that. Gnomes and Issa.
We have a unique interest in the Fae, but I cannot explain further. I will say this. Their supposed immortality poses a problem to all mortals. The scholars in Odessa have a keen interest in gaining High King Titarian's trust and cooperation. There's so much to learn from him.
For someone who is such like a big boy gnome, like you're really, really high ranking and everything, right? You don't even seem to know that the Gnomes have literally invented a way for everyone to be immortal. Like, come on, this seems like something you should probably have in your tiny little fucking mind palace. I mean, to be fair, maybe she assumes that I don't know, and it's something they very much want to keep quiet. But, look at me. Look at me, I am clearly the savior of all mortal kind, and hopefully Fae kind in the process. But no, you just can't tell, you just gotta play it safe. Oh, fine, whatever. Tell me about the Fae.
There's much to be gained from an alliance with the Summer Court, although I can't say I enjoy working with Fae directly. They're too set in their ways, too rigid. They've already grown and changed. The Tuatha themselves are a new breed of creature. Fascinating amalgam that should be explored.
Just because the Gnomes are so permanently flaccid doesn't mean you have to complain about everyone else's rigidity. Rigidity? Is that a word? I hope so. Erectile dysfunction is what we're getting at today. It affects 1 out of 3 gnomes. It's a very, very horrible situation. Those 1 out of 3 tend to be women, so it's sort of like fine. But anyway, Embassy Hall.
I have no love for the other races here, if that's what you're asking. The Varani are coarse and brutal, while the Alpha are scheming and treacherous. The Almain, well, they don't leave much of an impression, if I must be honest. Forgive them for their blandness. After all, they are so young.
Oh, so they're like the newest of races. I guess maybe they descend from the Varani, but they've sort of given up their nomadic ways? I don't know how races are born in this universe. Because it seems like, I mean, we are always called the younger races, right? Which means we clearly haven't been around nearly as long as the Fae, although other mortals have been around because we know of several. We know of Neuralim and the other god trees or whatever the fuck, but they are straight up mortal. If you took a fucking chainsaw to them, they wouldn't be around all that long. But, okay, well, let's get the hell out of here. I love that even the game is throwing shade at people who just choose the most boring of fucking races. I literally can't understand why anyone who is given such a beautiful fucking swath of incredible races, incredibly new worlds and cultures to get immersed in, and they're just like, I'll be human, you know, like I have been for my entire fucking real life. Like, in what possible world would anyone be given all these fucking incredible mystical fucking options? Just be like, yeah, I'll stay the same as always, please. Thank you.
Perhaps we must finally swallow our dignity and draw our swords. Quiet. We must not discuss this further in the open.
I mean, you say that, but I've literally heard everything, and now I'm going to force you to tell me it all, because, you know, video game. Everyone gives me their life stories as soon as I show up.
You must be the special messenger Tatarian's expecting. Trust me, the rest of us have heard plenty about it.
What is that?
Erwin can't keep his big mouth shut. I am Methani Keen, Dokkalfar ambassador to the Summer Court
I thought I was going to enjoy talking to you.
Sorry. This is a difficult position sometimes.
But all I can notice is the giant fucking Cheez-It that just forever lives in your cheek. Well, what the fuck is that? I can't take my eyes off it. And definitely not in the good way. Fucking hell. Okay. Tell me about the trellis and I will try to keep my vomit contained.
Not everyone is
Oh, take me
It's where
away.
the court of summer nobles spend their time reminding themselves of past glories. I'd avoid it.
Actually, it's not a Cheez-It whatsoever. It's more like a hula hoop. Or whatever. Do you Yankee Doodles have hula hoops? I don't know why I care. Like kids fucking crisps. But whatever. Let's move on from the philosophical hula hoop conversation, and let's talk about the High King.
I've met with him several times. I'll admit, he radiates a certain presence, but I'm less interested in charisma than I am in leadership.
How come, by the way, that it is only the Dokkalfar who are like permanently showing off their assets over here? You never really see like the Ljosalfar, or I guess Varani sometimes do, or Almain you never really see anything. But then, as soon as you go to the males of the other races, like, they will choose any possible opportunity to just rip off all their clothes at all time. And they have exactly the same physique, no matter who they are. I imagine even the gnomes, the fucking gnomes, are just jacked to all hell. That's just how this game wants to be. But then only the Dokkalfar women tend to, sort of do the same. It's a real shame. I think in a world of equal opportunities, we might as well just all decide to be naked 24/7. That sounds fair, right? Gardens of Issa.
Issa is fine, and the Fae are tolerable, but many believe they should do more to support the war effort. It's unjust to live in peace while the rest of the world burns.
I mean, you're right, but you're also asking them to just abandon their entire culture. They literally need to live out the same events over and over and over to keep the essence of their former lives alive, right? Is that how that works? I have no idea. I don't really understand why they constantly do the balance thing, as it seems more harmful than anything. So you know what? Maybe it's their culture that's the problem and not us trying to change it. Right? Maybe? Please save us, Big Papa Faye. I'm sure you are like 2 billion times more powerful than us, whatever you put your mind to it. But I'm able to slaughter Tuatha just like that, so maybe they're only as good as, like, you know, the mortal races in combat, or potentially even worse, since they're so not used to it. Felltown.
This is where the Fae hide us to keep us out of sight.
That tiny boy just
fence,
eavesdropping.
but I got over
He is the
it.
perfect height
I
for
wouldn't want to live
something.
near them. Strange things, the Fae.
He looks like he has seen some serious shit, but though, what the fuck is off to my right? Because there is a much better point of interest for you to be gazing at, my friend, and it's obviously Letharoon. I mean, you are the perfect height for that, 100%. Not anything else. What do you think? You think I'm that disgusting? Of course not. How dare you? Court of Summer.
They are a council of Fae nobles that advise the High King in matters of politics. Not that they even understand what that means. To them, politics is just a game. Well, more of a game than usual. You understand my meaning.
Well, that's because they've always basically existed as a hive mind, right? Or just allowed the king to do the good boy thing. And the king, for the most part, has always done the good boy thing because they were lucky enough to just get a good boy king who then permanently comes back to life and continues to do good boy shit over and over and over and over and over and over. But I guess now he's stuck in his ways and he's just not focused on the tasks at hand. Which means everyone's gonna die. Good job, Faye. Why is it difficult?
Something is about to happen, and it must be stopped. But that is all I can say. This is neither the time nor the place. If you're interested in hearing my story, meet me in the worship circle after dark.
The
near
first
gates.
time-gated mission
I
in
will
the
wait for
entire
you
game,
there.
I think. Thank you. I don't know why you're immediately fucking trusting me, but I'm down. Ambassador
She
Brenner.
is no politician. She is a warlord, and a cruel one. I've heard stories that would make your heart brittle. She was sent here for one reason alone, to bring down Issa.
Every time I look at this boy, it's like his nose is just expanding, taking over yet more of his face until it is entirely engulfed. Are you okay, sir? Do you need me to call someone? Is this the shit you have seen? Is it your own demise permanently as the nose grows? Oh, I can't speak to you at all? But you're a gnome in a hat. I don't think we've ever seen such a fucking magical feat before. Oh, fine. I guess the game could just, completely, deprive me of such glorious imagery. I don't know. I'm still, sick. My brain is still the big confused. But we'll get through it. At least my memory is alright. I seem to remember everything that's happening in the game. Because I remember when we were playing through... Oh god, it must have been all the way back in Ghost of Tsushima, when my mind was just completely marred by allergies all the fucking time. I would forget what happened 5 minutes ago, let alone a session ago and everything. It was really, really rough. But now we should be just fine. Meet Ambassador King. Yeah, this seems really, really interesting. And I was always, I was always complaining about how Issa seemed barren of meaningful, really interesting side quests, and it looks like this is absolutely the one. And it means Brenner actually has a reason to exist, and it explains why 2 of the races out of 4 seem to have double ambassadors. It makes sense for the Dokkalfar to also get out. You're still blowing. Lady, it's been like a week. When was the last time you ate? Actually, don't answer that, because I imagine you're eating pretty much permanently. At least once every 4 minutes. This guy's got a problem. It happens to 1 out of 10 men within their lifetime. Actually, it seems like a very, very small amount of men. But still, this doesn't seem like after dark to me. Was the one time-gated mission in the entire game a complete lie? Because it's 4 p.m. The sun is fucking blaring down on my spine. But
Good.
Sure.
You've come. I'm sorry to make you wait like this, but what I mean to discuss is very sensitive.
I waited a whole,
It
7
involves
minutes.
treachery.
That is nothing. What's going on?
Despite the calm you see around you, the gardens of Issa are on the brink of war, and the question is, which one will it be? There are plans being made to seize this city.
High
The
King
Varani are
Tartarian is
displeased with
round the
Court of
corner,
Summer's
and he
lack
is
of support
awesome.
for their people, and they wish to overthrow Tartarian and force the remaining Fae to fight. We can prevent this, but we must act now. If saving your people isn't enough, we can pay you as a reward.
You are my people, in case you haven't fucking noticed. I really hate when the game will, like, have... I absolutely love the game recognizing what race I am. But they seem to just leave that for totally random characters who basically have nothing to do with your race, and mentioning your race doesn't really mean anything for the characters where it would make sense to sort of remark on who your race is. Like, this would be so cool if you were Varani, and she was like, I know that you must have an affinity to your people and everything, but you have to see that this is right. I was just, whatever, I just wrote that off the top of my head, and it was shit. But you know what I mean, right? Like, I am Dokkalfar. I am your people. Maybe that was her remarking on it, but it wasn't even close to clear. I don't fucking know. But what was I saying before that? Yeah, High King Tatarian is round the corner. You really think Brenna, that adorable little angry bitch lady, is gonna be enough with like 3 fucking Varani dudes to overthrow the entire fucking King of the Fae and his god? I don't think so. I don't think so at all, especially since, like, the Archsage and the fucking, I said several, like, the Master Fae Hunter, the Master Fae Warlord is round the corner. You're gonna get stomped on. You're gonna get turned into little bits of dust, Varani. This isn't a great idea. Tell me more.
The Varani cannot stomach Tatarian.
Plus, I don't think the other Fae would really,
believe that his Fae subjects could be convinced to march with us on the battlefield.
consent to doing a fight.
Well. But I would never resort violence.
If they were pretty much
The
enslaved.
Varani wish to turn Issa into a military camp. We cannot let that happen. It will ruin all our people have achieved here.
Another fake British accent, clearly, because you really think British people say camp? Maybe that's just the Elven accent that you just so happen to have, but it makes me sick inside. So, yeah, I guess I want to help.
Of course, it is the right thing to do. The leader of the plot is the Varani ambassador, Kierna Brenner.
Surely I can't just talk to
the
her.
ambassador strolls Memory Walk, alone. She carries a pair of daggers. Take them. Afterwards, dispose of them. Destroy them. Salvage them. I don't care. Return to me when it is done.
As fucking if, in the slightest, that, like, just taking a single pair of daggers is going to stop this entire uprising. You think someone who describes herself as a warlord only has one set of weapons? Or even if she does, she won't be like, oh no, I must have misplaced my daggers. I shall go buy some more, way more fucking powerful ones from this Fae vendor that sells the ultimate weapons of all time. I don't think that's gonna make much of a difference, Mythony. Daggers.
The Varani communicate secretly using weapons.
Oh, okay,
They
never
engrave
mind.
codes into the blades of daggers and swords.
That's actually
That
really
way,
cool.
They can get them through a typical search.
Seems
We believe this
unbelievably
particular
wasteful. I think your
pair of
average sword
daggers
would cost a
describes
little
the
bit more than
defenses of
paper,
Issa,
but...
where it's strong and where it's weak. The Varani are plotting, and they will act.
But Issa seems unbelievably powerful in every single aspect. Like, every single area seems to be basically unstoppable. You know the Fae have magic that controls nature, right? Look around you for like, oh, just 1 second. Just do me a favor. Look around. What are even the fences made out of? That is what is known as plant. And the Fae can make plant very, very angry. An angry plant do big fucking murder. I don't think they understand what they're getting into here. Where is Ambassador Brenner?
She spends most of her time in the embassy, but in the evenings, she enjoys a leisurely stroll through Memory Walk.